All right, y'all. It's about 11:05 right now, but I just recently saw the Mufasa, the Lion King movie, and I'm gonna try to do a spoiler-free review this time, and my next one will be a review with spoilers. But spoiler-free one, let's see. Well, first of all, I'll say if you're worried about it being as bad as the other live action Lion King, I could probably debate whether the live action Lion King is good or bad. I could probably debate that. Some people like it, some people don't. Uh, but what's not a debate is the Mufasa, the Lion King movie that I just watched. That's definitely better. That's definitely better. And the CGI is even better. The animals in the movie look just so real. Like the CGI is really good on the animals and on the landscapes. Of course, it's taking place. It's the Lion King movies, origin story of Mufasa. So it's taking place in Africa. So you see a lot of good scenery in this movie. It's a lot of you get to see some good streams and rivers and savannas, of course, because it's a lion. So that's where they live. They live in savannas. You see a lot of savannas. You see a lot of You even see some mountains. You get a lot of good scenery in this movie. Snowing. You see what the landscape look like when it's in a drought. When it's raining. You see a lot of stuff. It's good scenery. It's very good scenery. The scenery looks good. The music, I was hearing that people were worried that Beyonce and all the other people were going to try to overshadow the movie with the singing, so it'll focus more on Beyonce. I didn't really see it in this movie. I mean, the singing is good because I think Anika Noni Rose plays one of the mothers of the main character. So the singing's gonna be good with Beyonce and Anika Noni Rose in the movie. It's gonna be good. And let's see. The story. The story was good. The story was very good. The story was better than the pacing of it. Because sometimes the pacing of the story it'll explain in detail on most parts, but some of those parts it kind of felt like it was just like, bam, here's the information, there it is, okay, it's here, let's go. Now you know. It seemed a little sudden that they just give you some of this information, but it wasn't that big a deal. I'm just saying, if there was any bad parts of the movie, that would be one of the bad parts. The pacing of the movie. Sometimes they'll just bam surprise you with some information and you just like, whoa, that was kind of felt out of nowhere. But it's some minor stuff. I guess anything else wrong with the movie would probably be like I said before, the um the CGI of the animals, but the voice acting that's coming out of the animals is kind of like you hear the voices clear, but you looking at the animals talk and it's like very limited mouth movement, but complex words are coming out of the animals, and it just seems it kind of takes you out of it a little bit. But you kind of forget all about that because the storyline is so good, so it's not that major of a deal. But In this movie is basically a story to teach Simba and Nala's daughter Kiara courage. It's basically a whole movie of Rafiki telling Simba and Nala's daughter the story of Mufasa and how he got to be this great name that's like synonymous with greatness in the animal world. In fact, apparently Mufasa means king. I didn't I didn't know that. I did not know that at all. I probably should have looked that up. But basically, yeah, Kiara, she lacks courage. So Rafiki comes along. Thing still creeps me out. And tells her this story of how Mufasa, as a kid, uh, let's see, how would I explain this without getting into spoilers? There was a drought, and as Mufasa, as a kid, was spending time with his parents, who are, by the way, you can see how Mufasa gets all of his good characteristics. He gets them from his parents, and he gets them from a lot of other places. How he was being brought up and raised up. He gets yeah. You can in this movie it'll clearly show you how Mufasa got all of his good qualities. But pretty much a natural disaster happened that separated Mufasa from his birth parents, and then, like I said before, like Moses, he comes floating down the river into some foreign land, and some other mother finds him, like Moses, and just adopts him into the royal family. And you can imagine that doesn't go over well with the present king, which brings me to another thing about how they got a little bit of realism, or a little bit of realism when it comes to the lions, because when there's a lion that comes into the pride and he's now the leader, he wants to kill off the competition. And the new when Mufasa comes in, he's like, it's an outsider, let's eat him. But the queen there, the queen lion, is like, no, like, well, we don't need to do all that. Come on now, let's raise them as our own, which just doesn't go well with the king. But he's like, to keep the peace, okay, fine. Let's. They made a bet out of who would win in a race between the prince and Mufasa, and I guess the prince was lonely. He's an only child, so he always wanted a brother, which breaks out into a song. I always wanted a brother. It's a decent song. Uh, and he lets Mufasa win because he wants a brother, and that's how he gets to be in the family. Uh, let's see what else. Somewhere along the line in the movie, we meet, as I said before, a whole pride of white lions, and they're a rivaling pride that believes heavily in the blood makes you family, not bonds, and all that other touchy feely stuff. They don't really believe in that stuff. Blood makes you family. You have to be loyal, or you're done. And they have a collision course with the other rivaling lion pride that found Mufasa, and it doesn't go well for either side. And so now the prince and Mufasa are on the run, and this white lion pride is trying to chase them and hunt them down. And what's the Kiros? I think his name is Kiros, voiced by Mads Mikkelsen. That guy played a good villain. He played a very good villain on the rival side. His voice acting was great, and he had, in my mind, the best song. The best song I think is called "Bye Bye." You ever see somebody, or have you ever had yourself be threatened by a person, but they don't explicitly say the threat or directly threaten you, but somehow what they did say made you feel like, yeah, I'm in danger. I'm in danger. This person just threatened my life. I know he didn't say it, but I know he threatened me. Yeah, that's pretty much what Kiros did in the Bye Bye song. It's that was my favorite song. It's not a lot of songs in this movie that's going to compare to the animated version, and it's not a lot of songs that are just so great and it's going to impress you and stuff like that. But I gotta say, Lin Manuel Miranda, who did all this stuff, he did as you can imagine a musical type of deal, which that's what Lion King is. It's pretty much a musical with lions. He did a great job here. And the songs in the movie, though, they're more like conversations that are happening in sing-songy voice. That's what the songs are here. And let me see what else. Yeah, as they're being chased by the rival white lion pride, they come across some familiar faces in Sarabi, who is alongside her scout Zazu, and they come across eventually Rafiki, who is apparently a seer and a healer in this movie, who has visions, which you can imagine probably makes him look crazy to a lot of people. Which in the movie you'll see how that ends up being how he comes across Mufasa. And while this is all going on, Rafiki is constantly giving out like a lot of pearls of wisdom to Mufasa, and because we're telling this story to Kiara to give her courage, he's giving wisdom to Kiara too. So my Rafiki's good at that. He's real good at that. Uh, and also along the lines, you'll see how they got to the point where they think Mufasa is a better choice for king as opposed to Scar. So yeah, the character of Scar, how would I best say it? He has good uh leadership qualities. They're good. He's a quick thinker. He's clever. He's a good person on the inside. Uh, he's brave at times, and yeah, he has good leadership qualities. But where it like really matters, he doesn't have that. And that's where Mufasa excels. Mufasa, on the other hand, is brave when the time comes and it's do or die. Mufasa is the one that's going to step up. He's good with people. Just about everybody loves him. All they have to do is just have like one conversation with the guy, and they can tell that he's a great person. So he's good at bringing people together. He's good at speeches. He's good with courage. In fact, because he's an outsider, the the adopted father tells him, "Nah, I don't want you with us. We don't want this outsider with the royal family hanging out with us. So you just go hang around the female lions. You're not wanted with the males. You don't get to hang out with us." So he hangs out with the female lions. He's forced to be there. But as a result of that, he has now developed excellent hunting skills, and now he knows what it's like to be a potential leader, but also have a softer side and see into the hearts of people. Well, not people, more like lions, but you understand what I'm saying. He can see into the hearts of others. So all those qualities that Mufasa has are the things that you would want in a king of the pride. And you see that happening along the way. And you also see in this movie how, well, the love story of Mufasa and Sarabi. It didn't happen right away because uh I, I guess there was some love triangle going on between Mufasa and Scar. But that another life lesson in this movie will tell you that no some people, no matter how much they try to dim their light to make others shine, some people just can't help but shine their light. Everybody gonna see it. It's undeniable, and some people just shine. They just can't help it. No matter how much they try to shrink themselves to make other people look big, people are always going to see the light. They're always going to see that. And what else should I? Oh yeah, they had a lot of Oh, but before that, it almost got me in the first beginning of the movie. I tell you, hearing James Earl Jones's voice as the first thing you hear, that almost got me with the narration that he did, and it said, "In remembrance." That almost got me. And also the the first thing you hear in the animated movie of Lion King, that's what you hear in this one. Great song, fully fully African. I can tell it was fully African. I couldn't understand any of it, which also brings me to another point. My absolute favorite part of the movie was what didn't even have to do with the movie. It had to do with the fact that they actually casted African actors and African actresses for this movie, and they casted a lot of them too. That's my favorite part of the movie. It's the fact that they said, "Okay, this is the Lion King. We need to have a very good African story here. It takes place in Africa, so what should we do? We should get African actors, right?" Yeah. See, that makes sense to me, but oftentimes you get like other actors to play African roles, and it doesn't make sense at all to me. But in this movie, they actually hire African actors and actresses, and it's just so great because that's what makes sense to me. They are the ones that understand their culture. They are the ones who natively speak this language, and you can hear it in the movie because sometimes they'll just break out into speaking a whole different language, and you just don't understand any of it. Well, unless you just happen to be African and you watching this movie, they'll just break out into saying something in African language, and you just don't understand it. And me personally, I like that. I like that they hired African people that understand the culture, that understand how to speak the language, and how to do all this stuff that is native to Africa. And they thought they they thought in their mind to hire actual African people, and I love that part. They need to do that more often. But that's my favorite part of the movie because it was just a good thing to do. And kudos to Lin Manuel Miranda for putting on a good show, and whoever thought it was a good idea to hire African actors. And so also in the movie, there's a lot of parallels to the original animated movie. You'll in the movie you'll have the claws inside the paws parallel that you had in the animated movie between Scar and Mufasa. That they had that kind of parallel, and they had the faces of the ancestors in the stars and in the sky. They had that parallel just like in the animated movie, and they also had they snuck in everything the light touches is mine parallel, but they flipped that a little bit in the movie. But also I'd like to point out the white lion troop that they the white lion pride that they had in the movie. Yeah, as I said before, that was a nice shout out to the original Lion King story, the story of Kimba, the white lion. I liked how they paid homage to that movie and made it their own in this movie. You'll see how they made it their own in this movie. But that was nice. Let's see. Am I oh, Scar's father. Yeah, also a coward. It's a very yeah, he's a cowardly lion. He's more underhanded. He's kind of like a Starscream character. He's more about surviving more than living, and that's how the bad guy gets away with a lot of stuff when you have cowards as your ruler, and it shows up in how he was whispering into Scar's ear about the outsider Mufasa. But that's not really what turns Scar into Scar. Which, by the way, in this movie you'll see how Scar gets his name, and it's not how you think. He gets his name in more ways than one. Uh, you'll see origins of Rafiki. You'll see the origins of Pride Rock and how that came to be. You'll see the origins of a couple of other things. But yeah, let's see what else. What else would I be missing? Oh yeah, I forgot they played such a small role in the movie Timon and Pumbaa, uh, voiced by Seth Rogen and Eichner, Billy Eichner, something like that. But yeah, they did a good job. They did a good job on doing the Timon and Pumbaa roles. It was small, but it was while they were there, they were bombastic. They were larger than life. They they stole the show when they did show them, but it wasn't so to the point where it got to be annoying. No, they had a good amount of Timon and Pumbaa in there, so that was good. Um, see anything else I could tell you without ruining this movie? Mm, that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. It was a good movie to me. I it kind of it kind of looks like the Jungle Book movie, not the Mowgli one, but the Jungle Book. Kind of looks like the Jungle Book movie, has that sort of feel to it. I kind of wish they would have did the CGI like the Jungle Book because that was more natural when they did that. They leaned more into the fantasy part of talking animals, like hey, like Narnia, like they did in Narnia, like they did in the Jungle Book. They leaned harder into the fantasy part, and that's how you get the CGI looking more natural when the animals talk. I wish they would have did that in this movie, but like I said, it was pretty minor. But it was. I'll tell you what, it's better than the other live action Lion King movie that we did get. It is definitely better than that one, so that's not really a worry. But yeah, if you want to watch this movie, I I really think you should. I think you would be pleased with what they did. Maybe some will disagree. That's fine. Me personally, uh since the CGI kind of took me out of it a little bit, and I only really liked the Bye Bye song in the song with Mufasa and Sarabi. I only liked their song, Say It Again, and the Bye Bye song. Since that happened, I'm gonna give the movie a flat B. Just a B. Not a B plus, but a B. I'll give it that for those reasons. But anyway, if you want to watch the movie and you were really excited to see the Mufasa movie, yeah, you should definitely watch it. I think you'd be happy with the product. But yeah, until the next review,